What's up? It's Dame Lillard, aka Dame Dollar. Welcome to my slam cover shoot. I think the number one thing people don't understand is the change that it is for the person picking up and going into a new environment. Sometimes you leave one job for another job and you might have to relocate, but a lot of people go job to job locally. Like if they live in Portland, they'll have a job at this place and they'll quit that job and the next job is just across the city. They don't have to pack up their life and go to a completely different place. That's not something that everybody experiences the same as us. So I would say that's the number one thing. And I would say the number two thing is having to learn to work with somebody new and not just having to okay, they working together, they figuring it out. Being expected to work together and figure it out right away. They just look at this player's great, that player's great, you got this, you got that, and they just think it's supposed to work. When this summer ends and I get ready to go back to Milwaukee, I'm gonna go back prepared, not just because of what I did for my body, with my PT and my strength and conditioning coach and my diet. All of those things are great, for me physically. But being able to come here and I didn't say, all right, this summer I'm gonna take off and go on all these vacations and do all these things. I spent a lot of time with the people that I really care about and that I wanna, be around. We didn't do a whole lot. We just spent a lot of time around each other. I think that did me very well this summer. So going back knowing that I'm physically prepared and I'm mentally prepared, it's a more familiar situation. We gained some stability with Doc, knowing who I'm gonna go play for, having a much better understanding of the team, knowing guys now. It's just different. And all of those things give me a different level of peace going into it than I could ever had last year. Early in my career, I always felt like I was underappreciated. And I think I had an underdog mentality. Sometimes even when I was getting credit, I feel like I ain't getting enough credit or they ignoring what I'm doing. And then I think I reached a point in my career where I started to get acknowledged how I felt like I should be acknowledged. And then fast forward to being named on the 75th anniversary team is like the ultimate nod to what my body of work has been and how consistent I've been since I stepped foot in the NBA. I'm not loud and I'm not saying too much and doing all these things, but I'm always productive. Even in a season like last season where I feel like I could have been better in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas, I still had a productive season and we were still a successful team throughout the season, a 2 seed for pretty much the entire season. I think people just kind of look past it because of what they think we should be or whatever their personal opinion is. But the fact of the matter is that I've always been productive. This is gonna be my 13th season and I continue to just show up and be productive. But I think they get bored with the fact that I just do it over and over and over and over and over. Do something else when it's really I'm showing up, putting my best foot forward, Me playing with Giannis is one thing, but we have to figure out how we work best and how that works for everybody. Because there's a lot of guys that have to be able to do what they do best and be in a position to succeed for the team to succeed. So I think a lot of people look at two and they don't look at the big picture, I guess, of the entire team. He's not a super talkative person and I'm not a super talkative person myself. Over time I become that. The more I start to build a relationship with people, especially on the team. And I think as the season went on, me and him definitely we started to talk more and more. And I started to come to his house to do conditioning and come to his house and we'll work out together. And this summer we've been in constant communication. He played in the Olympics, so a couple times I was going to head out to Greece. We've definitely been in touch with each other, and I think we both know, we need each other. And I think he's excited coming into the season just like I am, because we became a lot closer as the season went on, and we started to learn each other a lot better as the season went on. So having a full off season of being connected to each other and being able to go into this next season, I think we both, we're gonna be ready and we both excited to do what we gotta do. I think to start the year, we just weren't in a lot of pick and rolls together for a long time. It was we was playing in transition. or I was in the ISO, or he was in the ISO. Like, it just wasn't a lot of pick and rolls. So the best way to get chemistry in pick and rolls are to be in a lot of pick and rolls together. And I think, you know, it got to the point with Doc where he was just having us in practice just set it. Throw it to Giannis. Giannis, give it back to Dame. All right, Dame, throw it back. All right, Giannis, uphill DHO. It was almost like the team laughing at us, just kind of just repping it out over and over. And then in games, we ended up being in a lot of those actions together a lot more, you know, the second half of the year. And I started to see what he was thinking, and I think he started to see what I was thinking. And then we would talk about it. And then, you know, once you start to build chemistry, then I can start directing a little bit more because we are more connected instead of me just trying to tell him what I want him to do. And we haven't even really worked together on it, you know, wanting to give him the respect of, like, he might have something he want me to do a little bit different, but it's hard to figure that out when you're not in a lot of pick and rolls together. And as the season went on, I think I started to see how I can make a game easier for him. And I think he started to see, like, what I needed from him to be free out of the pick and roll. And from here, I think it'll continue to just get better.